how to go from this to that. We show the full process, starting from trimming the meat, mixing our own rub and applying it, making fire and other preparations, then going through the classic 3-1 method of smoking unwrapped, wrapped, and with sauce. We start now with the rub. 4 tablespoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of powdered mustard, 2 tablespoons of paprika, 2 tablespoons of cumin, 1 tablespoon of oregano, 1 tablespoon of thyme, same quantity for pepper, ground pepper, coriander seeds, just sprinkle a bit of lemongrass for the Thai touch, and some cinnamon. Mix everything together. And when we're done with that, we're just going to move all this nice rub to this shaker right here. First thing is to just dry it, remove all these excess liquids. You want to move this membrane. I'm just opening that up so I could reach the ribs. Any small pieces like that, I will trim off. So I don't want this one as well. This is bone here. This side needs no trimming, really. It's nice. So to remove the membrane, I'm gonna use a knife like that. I don't want the edge to be sharp because I don't want it to cut through that. I just start wherever. This is the easiest place to start, so I'm just gonna start right here. I'm just touching the bone. I'm just making sure I'm in the bone, not between the bones like here. In the bone, touching the bone, and I'm just going to take the knife, get in, and start raising this membrane, detaching it from the bones. We can just take a piece of paper towel and just pull it. The purpose of the paper towel is to make it easier for us to just grab the membrane. Otherwise it's slippery and fingers just slip off it. So see, we have removed this part. Flip it again. Try to get as much as possible off. Try to do it a bit faster this time because clock is ticking and we need to start smoking. Okay, this is nice, you see? Good. So this is where the fun starts. We're going to take these ribs and we're going to apply the rub on them. We have some Tabasco sauce here. I'm going to use it as a binder. This is the rub that we prepared yesterday. So Tabasco sauce. We really don't need a lot. I don't mean for it to be spicy, just to get a little bit of moisture and maybe a tiny bit of extra taste on that here. I'm not gonna apply a lot because again I want to have enough for the top, and there's really no point to apply a lot of rub at the bottom here. This looks nice. more generous with the rub, so I'm going to open it up a bit more like that and see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah, just keep it like this for now. I might add a bit more if I have enough. Same thing. You know what, I'm just gonna start in the middle like that and walk my way to the sides. Good. So first thing will be to get this big body out of here, to make some space, position it, and make some fire. So lock the wheels and open that, open this, and now we're going to start some fire. Okay, so we're going to start fire with this chimney, and very easy to do. Just put a few pieces of cardboard paper or whatever is easily flammable here at the bottom of that. This is it. Good. And I'm going to spray some oil. It's just normal cooking oil on the paper over here. If you can come and see what we're going to do here. Yeah, what I'm doing here. I'm just, spraying that charcoal briquettes. Just slide it up. Put it in first. Wow, there's a spider here trying to climb out. You see it over there? The spider on this wall. You see the spider? I don't want to burn little spider. Get out, spider. Get out. Yeah, you can get out. You can do it. Yeah, get out. Get out, spider. What? Did you get back in, you stupid spider? Okay. Well, otherwise, we're gonna have, I don't know, smoked spider? I don't know. I hope he got away. No spiders were harmed during the making of this film. Hopefully. Okay, that's it. We don't need a lot. You could use any lighter for that. You don't have to use that, but this just makes things easier. Choo-choo. Okay, the wood train is coming. Okay, gonna stand right here, and this can open up a bit. Hey, yes, you just park yourself right there, and we got the fire going. We got the great, nice and clean after applied some onion on it, and now it's really time to take the temperature a little bit down. You see, it's way too high, so we're just gonna wait until those pieces of wood will just burn a bit more. Temperature will just go down by itself just by doing nothing, and then it's time for the ribs. The ribs are inside. Smoking begins. With this smoker, I'm using a combination of charcoal briquettes and pieces of wood. So the charcoal briquettes provide a consistency of temperature throughout the smoking process, and the wood pieces generate smoke, obviously, that is so important for the taste and for the generation of bark, forming of bark on top of the ribs. Apart from continuously feeding the firebox with these two types of fuel, we need to always make sure there's enough air. So what you see now is that I'm clearing the ash under the coal and the wood to make sure the oxygen flows freely, the air flows freely, to maintain an efficient burning. So, how much should we spray? Should we spray at all? I'm saying yes, we should spray. Make sure it doesn't dry up. Even a water ball. I do have a water ball, but it doesn't really do all the work. So I say yes, spray. how much to spray. Should we spray once an hour, once half an hour, 20 minutes, or what? So I'm saying all of these answers are wrong, and the answer is spray as much as necessary. How much is necessary? When you just put in the ribs in, you don't need to spray a lot because they're cold, they don't dry up as fast, they have a lot of moisture on top of them, I mean in the outer part of the meat, so you really don't need to spray a lot. How do you know how often to spray? So when you spray, you see if it dries up or not. When you spray, you see how long it lasts, how long it takes for the liquids that you added to dry up, to disappear from the outer layers of the meat. So just watch it, just watch it. If it's hot, obviously it's gonna evaporate faster. So when it evaporates faster, yeah, you need more frequent spraying. Okay, it's very easy. Just see, look at it, and try to understand what you're doing. So the ribs have been inside smoking for 3 hours and they look excellent, but they're probably not soft enough. So now we're going to wrap them in foil and put them back in a smoker. And now the ribs are nicely wrapped in foil and they're going to stay here for 2 more hours at a temperature of about 120. So this means we need to add more heat. We just added more charcoal briquettes now. I'm not using any wood at this stage because there's no point, right? The ribs are wrapped in foil, so they're not gonna get any smoke anywhere. And I'm just gonna work with coals for these 2 hours. Once these 2 hours are over, unwrap the ribs, add sauce, and I'm gonna go back to wood for that last stage of between 30 minutes and 1 hour, the final stage. Good. So after 2 hours with foil, the ribs were unwrapped again. We brushed some barbecue sauce on top of them and they will return to the smoker and we stay here for about 30 minutes. For this stage, we go back to using wood and we want again some more smoky taste with that sauce baking into the ribs. So I call it to get the ribs back into the barbecue track. So when they're wrapped in foil, it's like they're being braising or baking a little bit, steaming a little bit inside. Now we bring them back to the barbecue track and add in some final extra smoky flavor